welcome to another episode of the Bethesda Brothers Podcast. I am the KingFanMan, joined with my partner in crime, Joey Caps Gaming, or as I call him, Brother Joe. How you doing, Brother Joe?
I don't know. That's a great question. I was gonna say stupendous, but it's not. I'm not stupendous. I would be lying, so I don't want to lie to you, King. I don't want to lie to anybody who's watching. So, let's try to get me up to stupendous.
Don't start the podcast out with a lie.
Yes. Yeah. Not good.
And today we're not talking exciting stuff. We're actually talking controversy today. No, not too bad.
Making me sweat.
But there has been some controversy going on in Fallout 76, or a controversial decision made by Bethesda. They have just recently taken out what is called legacy weapons out of the game. And may I say, for the most part, I believe this is going to be very good for the game. However, today I may have a different take than a lot of people have on it, because I don't think Bethesda handled it probably as well as they should have, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. The reason I believe it is a good reason, well, I'll get into that too, but let me just start with, some of you may not even know what a legacy weapon is. A legacy weapon, these are weapons that are no longer offered in the game. They were once offered in the game, but for some reason or another, Bethesda stopped letting them be issued in the game, for the most part because they were overpowered by Bethesda's thoughts. And most of these were explosive energy weapons. So with that all said, I'm going to let you give an opening statement, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking about the legacy weapons. I will say this, for the most part, people are happy about the decision to take these out.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, and I've been playing the game not consistently through, but I'm a day one player. King, we played in the beta on Xbox together for the first time.
Yes.
Right? Like, that's what we did. On that night, the first time that we were able to play it, we did. But I didn't have a legacy gun. I didn't have one. So I don't really know what it's like for that to be taken away, but I understand both sides, because the legacy guns, they kind of spoiled the public events at times, and especially, Fasnacht and all that, so I do understand, and but also I never had one.
Of course, so can a nuke grenade or a nuke launcher, by the way.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, but I understand both sides. I totally get it. I understand if you're upset. But I also understand, if you're happy about it, because it's not bad. It's not like the worst thing.
Right. And let me start the podcast by saying I'm not upset at all. And again, I'll say I believe it's overall best for the game that they took them out, because first of all, there were so many duped weapons and illegal weapons that have been pumped into this game for what now, 3 years? And another thing, people could buy these online, whether they were duped weapons or weapons that were earned legally from someone else. And then, I mean, there were people paying hundreds of dollars. Can you imagine paying hundreds of dollars for a weapon, and now Bethesda's taking it away? Am I laughing? I'm not laughing at you. I promise. If you did that, I'm not laughing at you.
Once upon a time, I paid $5 for a 2-shot explosive handmade. I'm not even kidding. I did. I wanted one so bad. So, some schlep had it on eBay, so I said, you know what? I want it.
I want it.
So I got it. I'm guilty of it.
I have seen those out there. Now, with all that said, and Joey mentioned it, one of the rubs against some of these weapons were, whether you were in the Queen fight or some of the public events, they were one-shotting enemies, and even the Queen. And I have seen this as well, and I don't know what weapon it was, because I had several legacy weapons, and none of mine would do this. But literally, they could 1- and 2-shot the Queen, which was just In other words, the queen would come out and boom, boom, it was gone, and it was like, wow.
I didn't experience that.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy
Like
before people could get a shot in on it.
See, like for me, I was on and off in like the first year of 76, and then once when they released Private Worlds, that was it for me.
Yeah.
I committed and I played the heck out of it, but like 98% of the time, I was in a private world by myself.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like. I drop a nuke like once or twice. That's about it. But I put in. I have like 1,500 hours into the game.
Yeah. See, I play on private most of the time too, so.
Yeah. So like, but yeah, like I've never seen someone two-shot a queen. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Scorch Beast Queen. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Get out of here. That's nuts.
It's crazy. Yep.
Can't believe that.
Okay.
Wow.
So I said I think Bethesda could have handled it better. Here is what I'm talking about. There are people upset, and again, I'm not one of them that's upset, like raving mad or anything. But there are people genuinely upset. Some said they ain't even gonna play the game anymore because they lost their favorite weapons. And I understand to a point, and then to a point I'm like, come on, get over it and find another weapon. Which by the way, I have already gotten another great weapon that I'm going to show in my next live stream. That's really cool. It's a railway rifle. That's
two-shot explosive.
Two-shot explosive railway rifle, automatic. Yeah, really cool.
That's probably nuts.
Yeah, it is nuts. Anyway, but by the way, it has the worst. Was it recall? Is it? I go blank with my lupus.
Fire rate?
No, it's when you. What's it called with a weapon where it makes you recoil? Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. if you just do it in little bursts, you're fine. But if you hold down on the trigger, you will wind up literally looking at the stars. It will go
recoil.
Recoil. There, I couldn't get that out of my mind. Okay. The way I think Bethesda could have handled it much better, and the rub that I have is this. Those of us who did earn them correctly are being treated or were treated exactly like those that did things illegally. So the ones that broke the rules are getting treated exactly like the ones that did things right. And I don't think that's right. For years, Bethesda has let the duping go on, the illegal weapons come into the game, all this without doing anything. And then all of a sudden, when it gets horrible, just take them all away. Now, there's a lot of things, and we can talk about some of the remedies they could have done before now. We can talk about that in a minute, but I don't think it's right treating the ones that broke the rules the same way as you treat those that didn't break the rules. Now, I can understand if these weapons are overpowered, nerfing them, that's fine. But let's get rid of the illegal weapons and the duped weapons if you can, and allow the ones that are earned to stay in the game, and then nerf those.
Yeah,
that's my solution.
I guess at the end of the day, I talked about this prior to the podcast, King. Maybe, just maybe, they can't tell which ones were duped and the ones that were earned, but they could have come up with this solution, and I don't know how you do it. Maybe you can't, but why couldn't they in some way make it to where you could use these weapons, but in private worlds? Like, why couldn't they at least do that? So if you're, a diehard player, you would most likely have a private world, so you could go into your world and use that gun still, but there's a ban in an adventure, in a public world. That's just what I like. Why couldn't they do that? I feel like that,
that would be another good solution.
But then again, maybe, like I said, maybe they were just incapable of doing that. So I don't know. I figured.
Can I just say it? It looks like they did the least amount of work that it took really think about it. It's been 3
This
years.
has been an
They've
ongoing problem, though.
but
4 years.
That's Bethesda's fault.
4 years.
It's because they haven't done anything for 4 years.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They've done the least amount of work that it took. In that, it's like, let's think about what is the least amount of work we can do to fix this problem. Let's just get rid of them all.
Yeah, but
And let's wait until it's so bad that everybody's going to be mad.
But this is something though that they've been working on. I thought, wasn't like the last patch they were supposed to.
Yeah, one patch they tried it last time and then they said it's delayed.
Yeah, so but I don't know. I totally understand the frustration. I get it, I do. But this is like you said, learn to use another gun.
Hey,
you know.
But if they haven't fixed the duping, just because they got rid of the legacy weapons now, do you think it's going to stop? Or do you think there's...
If they didn't fix the duping, then no.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
And again, 4 years.
Yeah.
Don't you think there's time to fix something there?
Do you know what's crazy, though, too? 4 years, no mods.
Yeah.
4 years, no mods.
Yeah, I know.
In the first year, Pete Hines said, it might be like 2 to 3 years away. 4 years now. No mods.
I know.
Private worlds and everything, but no mods. Where are the mods?
You mean
seriously?
You mean make you even feel better about that statement? Remember,
maybe it's because I just don't know. My head's been out of the game for a bit.
No.
But where are the mods?
Remember when Private Worlds came out and they said this is just the start. They're going to expand
what the heck?
them.
It's been a year and a half since.
What have they done?
Been a year and a half.
What have they done with Private Worlds? Nothing.
Yeah. Even not even it's been 3 years since Private Worlds, but then it's been a year and a half since Custom Private Worlds.
Yeah.
What have they done with that?
And they said that was just the beginning. This is where mods are going to come in. We're going to give you much more flexibility and let you customize this. They have added to the customizations once, and I want to be fair. They've added to the customizations once. They just added a few little things that you can tweak in your custom worlds. It's not much.
And also, you could progress the scoreboard, too. They added that.
Yes, that was the same. I believe that was the same time.
That's a cool thing. But, for me, I would just... So many people would use it more if you could use your public world character, right? If you could use that... I just feel like this is a great feature that goes unused because we can't use our main guy.
Well, and I think, we're getting into something that me and you, we could preach on this for hours. We know that Fallout 76 got, they just flat didn't do anything with the game for almost 2 years. They really didn't. They let it. I don't know if they were thinking about scrapping the game. I really don't know if COVID messed them up. I don't know what it was.
Probably the latter. Probably COVID.
But of course we know now, and if you're familiar with our podcast and listen to us on a weekly basis, you know this. But if not, there are 3 other studios now working on Fallout 76, and Bethesda Austin. Its main focus now is not Fallout 76. There are still some there that are working on it, but their main focus is another game. So it's kind of interesting that they've gone away from Fallout 76, but you have 3 other studios now working on it. So hopefully, even though we haven't had a roadmap yet, which is, by the way, what I want to end with this podcast is, what do you think we're going to have this year? Do you think we're going to get a roadmap? What kind of stuff we're going to get this year? I always like to end with positivity, which I guess is a good segue now. With 3 studios working on Fallout 76, I'll just pose it to you. Do you think we're going to get that normal type roadmap that we have gotten, which the latest I believe we've gotten one is March before a yearly roadmap? That's around the time we normally get them anyway.
Excuse my French, I freaking hope so. And I hope it's something good. And I hope it's something that we can sink our teeth in. Right? If you're telling me that Fallout 5 is 10 to 12 years away, then you better give this game some TLC that it needs. It needs mods, it needs more content. Let's keep this going. Keep this train going. I want to see one meaty roadmap, King.
Amen.
Meaty roadmap.
Because what did we get in the first quarter of this year? Nothing. We're getting Foshnot again and a repeat of the Treasure Hunter again. Nothing. The removal of legacy weapons. I mean, what are we getting? Nothing. We are getting nothing new coming to the game. Now, we got, of course, Nuka World on Tour, which I will keep saying it's a great update to the game. I like that update.
I like it too. It adds some more character to the game.
But
right,
what's next? What's next?
I know. We need something to sink our teeth in. We need it. It needs to be a nice steak, medium rare, right? Nice medium rare steak, nice and juicy, and it's red, and you just sink your teeth in, and you love it, and you savor that flavor. Right, so I want mods, King. I want mods. It's been 4 years. I want to hear something about mods. There's somebody out there that started high school and graduated, and we still haven't got mods. They went through a full cycle of high school.
When
since the game is out.
When Jeff Garner and Chris Myers, going back to the Chris Myers days, my word, he's been gone, 3 years now? He said that they were close to mods when he was still with Bethesda.
Either he was lying or what? Maybe to shut you up? I don't know. But that's something that would take this game up here to the next level. I'm telling you. And you know that too. Everybody knows that. It would take New Vegas is still getting mods. Oblivion is still getting mods. Morrowind's crazy. This game needs it. It needs mods.
It does, and of course, I believe it needs another Wastelanders type edition. Yes. If Fallout 76 is going to survive and thrive, and right now, let's face it, it's thriving with two fan bases. Number one, the diehards, which would not leave it if nothing was added, and the brand new players, the ones that came in and played for a while. They're gone, and it's going to be hard to get them back unless it's something big that comes to the game. It really is. These little things, these little events and things like that are not going to get that crowd back. That's the shame of it. They've dilly-dallied too long with they've been afraid of story content since the Brotherhood of Steel stuff. They're not wanting to bring story content back.
Why do you think that is, though? Why?
Well, and we've talked about that. They believe there's not enough replayability. They believe players go through it too quickly, and there's not enough replayability. And with a game like this, they believe that you need replayability. Then add events and random encounters. There's all kinds of things that you can add to story content, though, to make it replayable.
King, wait. I could pull out my hair. If I had hair, I'd pull it out, King. Seriously. ESO comes out with a new package. What? 4 times a year? Or they did?
But Joe,
what are we doing?
Here's the difference. They don't have to have people come back to that game because they pay for those DLCs. They have to have people come back to Fallout 76 to make sure they're seeing the Atomic Shop on a weekly basis to buy stuff to make money. That's the difference. The only way, and I do understand it. Come on, that's the way they have to monetize the game. If people are not there on a weekly basis when the new Atomic Shop comes out, stuff comes out, then they're not going to make any money on the game.
Get it? But do you think they should maybe switch to a paid model of that nature?
I don't.
And listen, hold up.
Go ahead.
Listen to this though. There are people that pay $100 a year for Fallout First. $100 a year. That's more than a game. 76, when it came out, it was worth $60. That's almost double the price of what you're paying for Fallout First. You're paying $100 for it for a full year. So, enough's enough. Give us more content. It's ridiculous.
The answer,
You're getting $100 a year from quite a few people.
the answer is yes, but no, and I'll explain what I mean by that. If they
What
have
does
a,
that mean?
if they ever have a future, which I don't think they will, but if they ever do a future BGS multiplayer game, then they will definitely do it in the model of pay like ESO does. However, I believe it's too far into this game to change it now.
Ron, you think?
Because, number one, you have Bethesda's promise that it's all free. And
You could go back on that though. Imagine if you had good DLC, Wastelander style DLC that we had to pay $20 to $30 for, right? But it was nice meaty DLC, and it's essentially you're getting a brand new Fallout game, what, twice a year, maybe? So if that's the case, wouldn't you spend $20 to $30 on it?
I would, but how do you go back
content?
on how do you go back on that without lying to the people?
You didn't lie. You made an adjustment. Do you know what I mean? You made an adjustment. No free DLC, but I got to pay for a private world.
There would be a lot of people that would burn them on that. Of course, a lot of people get mad about all kinds of things.
So would you rather have them do nothing or pay for something that's good and that's quality?
Hey, you talk about paying $20. I wouldn't mind at all because they're charging like $5 for a gun skin through the Atomic Shop. So, come on.
Yeah, it's, 76 has a charm. It's a lovely game. I love it. I've sunk in a lot of hours. I know, King, you did a zillion. But for me, I've sunk in a bunch of hours, and but there are times when it does get a little boring, like it does. So I teeter off, and I'm like, okay, I'll come back later. I'll come back, but just a little later. So if you had new story content, if you had mods, I play Fallout 4 to this day because of mods.
Because of mods.
So if you have mods, it'll just breathe brand new life into this game. That's what it needs. It needs it. 76 is such a fun game. It's a fun experience. But you could only do the same. You could only do things over and over again for just so many times.
This is just my opinion, and I'm gonna bring both of these things we've talked about together as we end the legacy weapons. And I honestly believe that Bethesda has not put the manpower and the oomph behind behind this game that they should have. I don't think Bethesda realized how much it takes to run a live service game. It takes a lot of people.
Yes.
I think they wanted to do it with a skeleton crew. And what we know now has happened, they started with a bigger crew at Austin than they actually have now, which is ridiculous. You can't scale down as the game keeps going. You got to maintain your numbers and even grow your numbers in a live service game because you've got to keep the content coming. This game has so much potential, but Bethesda has done, especially with the last 2 years, the least amount of work they've had to do to keep this game going. And that's what's so sad. They did it with legacy weapons. They did the least amount of work they had to. They let this problem simmer and simmer and simmer and simmer and simmer and simmer and then treated everybody the same. I'm sorry, I'm going to feel that way. I don't think you treat the people that broke the rules the same way you treat the people that earned them. You don't do that. You just don't do it. But Bethesda did it. Bethesda just thumbed their nose at everybody that was there, that paid their money, that did everything right.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And again, I think they're doing the same thing with the loyal fans that are sticking with the game by not giving quality content as well.
It's a shame.
Yep.
But we'll see. The next roadmap, right? Maybe they'll surprise us. They could. Listen, the game's still really fun. We just need more content, guys. We just need more.
I agree. Well, Joe, do you have anything left to say?
No, King. This was a blast. I love that we're doing the podcast again. and I can't wait for next time. Thank
Absolutely.
you for having me.
If you have not subscribed to Joey Caps Gaming, please do
please.
that. His
Um,
the link to
yeah.
his channel is down in the description below.
I'm posting content, very long form content. I post shorts right now on there, but I'm posting long form stuff very soon. I have another channel, a baseball channel, so that gets a lot of my attention because it's making money. But
And that link is down in the description too.
thanks, King. But the gaming channel will get the TLC it needs. So
Great. Well, I don't post shorts, but I am short, so if you're not subscribed to me, you can do that. I am the KingFanMan. He is Joey Caps. This is the Bethesda Brothers Podcast, and we hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Was that good?